So your surgery is tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. And is this your first surgery ever, or have you had surgery before?
Yeah, this is my first one ever.
Your first one ever. Okay. Surgery tomorrow morning, first one. And you said you're running around getting things prepped and everything. Is there anything that you're not doing because you're feeling nervous about
Yeah,
tomorrow?
like it's funny. I feel like what I'm like kind of neglecting is like doing any kind of work. So like I have like things that I can be doing, and I feel like I'm just kind of like zoning out because I'm like a little nervous for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is it that you would be working on right now if you weren't preparing for tomorrow?
Yeah, working on my like courses for my program that I just launched, and so like getting stuff together to work with clients. Um, Definitely that is something that I should be doing.
Yeah. And is it just like writing stuff or brainstorming, or what about these courses that you'd like to work on?
Yeah, it's more brainstorming and just kind of getting a clear outline for
Okay.
what my client ideally would be working through. Let me let this little cat out. I don't know how she snuck in my room.
No worries.
I know she'll just get in there sometimes.
Yeah. Brainstorming and getting a clear outline. Okay. All right. And is this just for one specific program, or is there multiple?
It's one specific program.
Program.
Yeah.
Okay. And when would you like to ideally get all of this stuff done to launch it?
I mean, so ideally I have it all done already. But like
Okay.
I feel like I'm there, but I'm just trying to stay like a month ahead of my client, and I'm kind of learning as I go with them. So like right now I'm in the middle of working with one client for a 6-month program. And like we're learning as we go.
Okay. Okay. So ideally you would have already had this done,
Yeah.
right? Right. Yeah. And is getting your surgery tomorrow, are you worried that this is going to hinder your ability to work on this stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. And is that a correct emotion, worry or nervousness that you won't be able to work on this stuff
Yeah.
because of your surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe even like a little blocked, like creatively
Blocked.
blocked.
Uh-huh. Okay. So I'm just going to have you imagine, like after we get off of this call, um, you're going to start working on this project, on brainstorming, on getting a clear outline. How possible does that feel right now when you think about, oh, at the end of this call, I'm gonna have to work on it?
It's feeling a little far off right now.
It's a little far off. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Like percentage wise, like possibility, 100% is like, yes, can totally do it.
I
Where are
feel
you
like
at?
it's like 65%.
65%. Yes. And what's preventing it from being 100?
I feel like I just have like a list of things that I want to get done, like for like just preparation wise, like getting food for myself so that nobody has to cook for me while I'm like bedridden and just like random stuff. Um, but like I know that there's time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I know it's possible. I just have to be able to better make it happen.
Okay. And you said you're feeling creatively blocked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that feeds into the 65%.
Yeah. Like I feel like I like sit in front of the computer and like there's so much that I wish was coming out and it's just like nada.
Yeah. Okay. And is that like the main thing that you're feeling, the creatively blocked?
Yeah,
Or, yeah.
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay. And is there, when you think of being creatively blocked, not being able to make this program that you should have already had done ideally, what's the emotion that goes along with that? Is there one?
Yeah, almost like not disappointed, but just like the feeling of like I should be able to do this, like why can't I? Almost.
Okay. And how intense is that on a scale 0 to 10? I should be able to do this. Why can't I?
Probably like an 8.
An 8. And do you feel that anywhere in your body right now?
I feel like kind of in my chest.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and start tapping on the side of the hand. Okay, good. And if I say something that doesn't sound true, you'd like to say it in a different way or something else comes up, just let me know, okay? This is your session. Okay. All right. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. Good. And feel your feet on the ground. Feel your legs on the surface that you're on. Just really tune in. And whenever you're ready, just repeat after me. Even though,
Even though,
just thinking about that courses for that program,
just thinking about the courses for that program,
brainstorming and getting a clear outline,
brainstorming and getting a clear outline,
I feel creatively blocked.
I feel creatively blocked.
There's so much that I wish was coming out.
There's so much that I wish was coming out.
I know I should be able to do this.
I know I should be able to do this.
Why can't I?
Why can't I?
And I can feel this in my chest.
And I can feel this in my chest.
And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
Even though,
Even though,
just thinking about brainstorming and getting a clear outline for that course,
just brainstorming and thinking about a clear outline for that course,
there's so much that I wish was coming out.
there's so much that I wish was coming out.
I should be able to do this.
I should be able to do this.
Why can't I?
Why can't I?
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And
even though
I should be able to do this,
I should be able to do this,
when I think about that courses for that program,
when I think about the courses for that program,
and I deeply and completely accept that I'm feeling this way.
and I deeply and completely accept that I'm feeling this way.
Good. Top of the head. I should be able to do this.
I should be able to do this.
Why can't I?
Why can't I?
When I think about brainstorming and getting a clear outline for that course,
When I think about brainstorming and getting a clear outline for that course,
side of the eye, I should be able to do this.
I should be able to do this.
Why can't I?
Why can't I?
Under the eye, just thinking about brainstorming and getting a clear outline.
Just thinking about brainstorming and getting a clear outline.
I should be able to do this.
I should be able to do this.
I should be able to brainstorm and get a clear outline.
I should be able to brainstorm and get a clear outline.
Collarbone. I should be able to do this. Why can't I?
I should be able to do this. Why can't I?
Under the arm. Brainstorming and getting a clear outline.
Brainstorming and getting a clear outline.
Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And 0 to 10 on that feeling. I should be able to do this. Why can't I?
I should be able to do this. Why can't I? Like a 7.
It's like a 7. Okay. Did something else come up as you were tapping, or were you focusing on something else?
I kind of like giggled a little bit because my roommate's daughter is like kind of going a little bit, and I'm like, it's like a funny thing. I'm like, that could be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So before you had said that it seems like about 65% possible that after this call you would be able to like brainstorm and create outlines. Did that number change at all?
I feel like we're still around there, but I feel a little more calm right now.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Side of the hand. Even though
Even though
I'm still feeling like I should be able to do this, why can't I?
I'm still feeling like I should be able to do this, why can't I?
When I think about brainstorming and getting a clear outline for that course,
When I think about brainstorming and getting a clear outline for that course,
I accept that I'm feeling this way.
I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And even though
And even though
I'm just thinking about brainstorming and getting a clear outline,
I'm just thinking about brainstorming and getting a clear outline,
I should be able to do this.
I should be able to do this.
Why can't I?
Why can't I?
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And even though, are you still feeling it in your chest? That feeling, I
Yeah.
should be able to do this? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just noticing this.
And I'm just noticing this.
And I accept that this is what I'm feeling right now.
And I accept that this is what I'm feeling right now.
Top of the head. I should be able to do this.
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 Side of the eye. When I think about making those outlines and brainstorming.
When I think about making those outlines and brainstorming.
Under the eye. I should be able to do this.
I should be able to do this.
Under the nose. I should be able to brainstorm and make a clear outline.
I should be able to brainstorm and make a clear outline.
I should be able to do that.
I should be able to do that.
Why can't I?
Why can't I?
Under the arm. Why can't I?
Why can't I?
Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And when you think about, I should be able to do this, why can't I? Is that still at a 7?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that's preventing it from coming down, you think? Is there anything that you're focusing on? Is it the distractions, you think?
Yeah, I think that maybe I'm just like stressed about that. Like I'm like putting too much emphasis on like that when there's like a lot that I could be doing. And it's like it's all like kind of moving, and I'm just putting a lot of emphasis on like my creativity being like what needs to happen when there's a lot of little steps that I could probably be doing. So I feel like it's
Okay, like what?
yeah, like I feel like I can like be taking like the next actionable step to be like, okay, well, in this one course that I already have ready, like how could I draw that out?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And thinking about drawing that
Alleviated.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What were you going to say? Go for it.
Oh no, like it feels like it brought that number, like it calmed me down a little bit because I feel like, okay, there's other things to put your focus on, and it's okay.
Okay. Good. Right. So the next actionable step, what would that be for you?
Yeah, I think that it would be going into the next like course that I have already ready, and then just building out the handouts for that instead of having to get so far ahead.
Gotcha. And that's, does that feel like something that you could do after this call and you would have it done in a matter of days or even by the end of today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Wonderful. And so how possible now does it feel? It was 65% before.
Mm-hmm.
Does that feel higher, or is that number not even on your radar anymore?
No, it feels more possible because I just realized that it's not there that I have to be. So maybe like 85% possible.
Good. Okay, wonderful. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So Ashley, if I were to have you email me when you took that next actionable step, the one that you said like, oh yeah, I could totally get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would have you email me and be like, I did it. Does that kind of make you feel a little bit nervous?
Sure does.
Okay. Where are you feeling that nervousness in your body?
I got like a little hot, like a little flushed.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you think that's about? That hot flush feeling in your face?
Being held accountable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there an emotion with that? Be that being held accountable?
Yeah, almost like by like you knowing that, like there's like a like this pressure to be like, okay, like I've got this for you.
Right.
Like
Okay. Good. Okay. So side of the hand. All right. Even though
even though
I'm feeling this hot flush feeling in my face
I'm feeling this hot flush feeling in my face
because I'm being held accountable.
because I'm being held accountable.
There's a deadline now,
There's a deadline now,
and all I have to do is notice.
and all I have to do is notice.
And even though I'm feeling this hot flush feeling in my face,
And even though I'm feeling this hot flush feeling in my face,
I'm being held accountable
I'm being held accountable
for this next actionable step.
for this next actionable step.
And I accept myself anyway.
And I accept myself anyway.
And even though I'm feeling this hot flush feeling in my face,
And even though I'm feeling this hot flush feeling in my face,
because Mo is holding me accountable,
because Mo is holding me accountable,
when I think about this next actionable step I can take,
when I think about this next actionable step I can take,
there's a deadline now,
there's a deadline now,
and I can feel this in my face,
and I can feel this in my face,
and I accept myself anyway.
and I accept myself anyway.
Top of the head. I'm being held accountable.
I'm being held accountable.
Eyebrow. There's a deadline now.
There's a deadline now.
Side of the eye. This hot flush feeling in my face.
This hot flush feeling in my face,
Because I'm being held accountable.
because I'm being held accountable.
There's a deadline now.
There's a deadline now.
Just noticing this hot flush feeling in my face.
Just noticing this hot flush feeling in my face.
I'm being held accountable
I'm being held accountable
for that next actionable step.
for that next actionable step.
Under the arm. I'm being held accountable now.
I'm being held accountable now.
Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. How's that feeling in your face doing after that round?
I feel more cool, and I actually feel like a little relieved.
Okay, tell me why.
Yeah, like I feel like the fear is less around doing the thing than like other people knowing that I'm doing the thing. And so
So,
like,
okay.
yeah, and so like having said that out loud, I don't know, to you even, I feel like makes me feel a little bit better about it. Yeah, almost like I am like realizing that I can hold myself accountable without like needing you to do it.
Okay, wonderful. So now when I'm just gonna ask you, so actually I want you to email me when you do that, just because I want to check it out. I
Okay.
want to check out that course. So how does that feel now?
It feels better.
It feels better.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, when it's ready, you got this. Like, it's yours.
Gotcha. Does it still have that same like, oh, she's holding me accountable, like there's a deadline now?
A little bit, but not as much. Like, not
Yeah,
overwhelmingly so.
gotcha. Okay. And what would you give that if it was a 10 before? What is
Hmm.
that little bit of being held accountable? Like, oh, there's a deadline.
I'd say it's still like at a 5.
It's a 5. Okay. Yeah. And is that what's the emotion with that? Is it fear? Is it scared? What would you
Uh-huh.
say?
It's of like not, almost like not being good enough, I guess. Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And you had mentioned before that the fear is less around doing the thing, but
Hmm.
more about people knowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And do you feel this anywhere in your body, this I'm not good enough feeling? Just when you think about me emailing you, holding you
Yeah.
accountable.
Like I feel like tension coming in when I say that.
Yeah. And what would you describe this area on you?
Like between my neck and my shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, so side of the hand. Even though
Even though
I'm feeling this tension between my neck and shoulders,
I'm feeling this tension between my neck and shoulders,
when I think about taking that next actionable step,
when I think about taking that next actionable step,
it's a fear that is less around doing the thing,
it's the fear that's less around doing the thing,
but more about people knowing that I'm doing it.
but more about people knowing that I'm doing it.
And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
Even though I can feel this tension between my neck and shoulders,
Even though I can feel this tension between my neck and shoulders,
it feels like I'm not good enough.
it feels like I'm not good enough.
When I think about taking this next actionable step
When I think about taking this next actionable step
and being held accountable for it,
and being held accountable for it,
I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
And even though I can feel this tension between my neck and shoulders,
And even though I can feel this tension between my neck and shoulders,
this I'm not good enough feeling,
this I'm not good enough feeling,
because I'm being held accountable,
because I'm being held accountable,
I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
Okay. Top of the head. This tension between my neck and shoulders.
This tension between my neck and shoulders,
Eyebrow. This I'm not good enough feeling.
this I'm not good enough feeling,
Side of the eye. This I'm not good enough feeling in my neck and shoulders.
this I'm not good enough feeling in my neck and shoulders.
Under the eye. I'm being held accountable now.
I'm being held accountable now.
And I can feel it like a tension between my neck and shoulders.
And I can feel it like a tension between my neck and shoulders.
This tension between my neck and shoulders.
This tension between my neck and shoulders.
Collarbone. All I have to do is notice.
All I have to do is notice.
Under the arm. This tension between my neck and shoulders.
This tension between my neck and shoulders.
Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. So just tuning in with that tension. Did that go up, down, stay the same? It was about a 5 before.
Mm-hmm. The tension's still there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And that I'm not good enough feeling to get that task done, the specific one that I'm asking you about.
Mm-hmm.
How does that feel?
It feels like I can do it. Like I feel like I can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So me asking you via email to tell me when it's done, that deadline, does that seem okay? Like you can do
Yeah,
that?
that
Yeah.
seems good.
Good. Yeah. When would you like to get this done?
I would like to get this done by the end of the week.
By the end of the week. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, I'm giving
Yeah,
myself a couple extra days.
for sure. Yeah. So Saturday, Sunday. So thinking about Saturday, Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
let's just say Sunday.
Okay.
And I'm going to email you, hey, Ashley, is it done yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How does that feel? What's coming up for you?
It feels exciting. Like I can share that with you. Cool.
Oh, yay. I'm excited too. Awesome. Okay. Well, that's great. That's
That feels
good.
good.
Good. Yeah. So we went from 65% possible to 85%. To what are you sitting at now when you think about brainstorming, getting a clear outline for that course in
By
general?
Sunday, by Sunday feels good. Like I feel
By
like
Sunday.
we can get that done for sure.
Amazing. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. And so, Ashley, this I'm not good enough feeling, is that something that it's like a theme in your life in
Yeah,
general?
definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, when you say I'm not good enough, how true does that feel on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most true?
It's funny. I don't know if it feels true, but it feels real. Like,
Feels real.
yeah. Like in how it feels, it would feel like an 8 or a 9.
Okay. Okay. Right. So I'm going to put a pin in that and then come back to that.
Okay.
But I want to check in with how you're feeling towards your surgery tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a little anxious.
Mm-hmm.
Just I feel like I've gathered as much information as I can on it, and I've just been like preparing for it for so long that now I'm just like, okay, like let's just do it.
Uh-huh. Okay. And right now, what is your anxiety geared towards? What are you the most nervous about?
Yeah, I think definitely like pain level after, um, and then just trying to be active again
Mm-hmm.
and like getting back to my routine and my sports and all the things that I love to do.
Mm-hmm. And how do you know that there might be pain afterward? Did you see it something in the brochures that they gave you or the pamphlets, or have you experienced somebody as a friend who had the same surgery? Like, how do you know that there might be pain?
Yeah, so this is like a super common, like the ACL is like a really common surgery, and so almost all of my friends have had it before.
Really?
Yeah, they're like welcoming me to the club. So like it's like I definitely hear different stories, and I know that a lot of it is like kind of what you put into it is what you get out of it. But I also there's just like that unforeseen part where it's like a lot of people are like, I didn't recognize that like this was gonna feel this way or that it was gonna be this hard or whatever. So lots of people telling me, like the doctor telling me was like fine because it didn't seem like they were too worried about it, but mainly
Yeah.
friends.
Mainly friends, yeah. So, of all the friends who have had this same surgery, is there one friend in particular whose story really stuck with you in terms of like, oh, there's pain after?
Yeah, definitely. Like my best friend.
Okay, yeah. And how did she tell you that she was in pain? Did you see her in pain? Did she tell you, I'm in a lot of pain? Like, how were you receiving that?
Hmm. Yeah, she like for me it was I think it was more of a shock because I didn't really recognize when she was having all of that she was in pain. And
Mm,
so now like here we are like a few years later and I'm like, oh. And so she kind of just told me like, well, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was, is kind
mm-hmm.
of how that was delivered.
Yeah. And was this something that she recently said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so just thinking about her saying she when she said, "I don't want you to be blindsided like I was."
Hmm.
Is there anything that's happening in your body physically, or is there an emotion that is coming up for you when you remember her saying that?
Yeah, it's like nervous that I'm missing something. Like
Uh-huh.
that I haven't done like all the things I can to be calm and happy throughout this.
Hmm. And how intense is that for you? Scale 0 to 10, 10 being the most.
Like a 9.
Yeah. And do you feel that nervousness anywhere in your body?
I feel mainly just like in my chest.
Yeah. Okay. Side of the hand. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Good. All right.
Even though
I'm feeling this nervous feeling in my chest,
I'm feeling this nervous feeling in my chest,
when I remember my best friend saying, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
when I remember my best friend saying, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
And I'm feeling nervous because maybe I'm missing something.
And I'm feeling nervous because maybe I'm missing something.
Maybe I haven't done all that I can to be happy and calm through all of this.
Maybe I haven't done all that I can to be happy and calm throughout this.
And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
Even though I'm feeling this nervous feeling in my chest,
Even though I'm feeling this nervous feeling in my chest,
because my best friend said, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
because my best friend said, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
And maybe I'm missing something.
And maybe I'm missing something.
Maybe I haven't done all that I can to be happy and calm through all of this.
Maybe I haven't done all that I can to be happy and calm throughout this.
And I'm just noticing how this makes me feel.
And I'm just noticing how this makes me feel.
And right here, right now, I'm okay.
And right here, right now, I'm okay.
And even though I can feel this nervousness in my chest,
And even though I can feel this nervousness in my chest,
my best friend said, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
my best friend said, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
And I'm feeling nervous because what if I'm missing something?
And I'm feeling nervous because what if I'm missing something?
And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely accept myself anyway.
Top of the head. This nervous feeling in my chest.
This nervous feeling in my chest.
My best friend said, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
My best friend said, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
And I'm feeling nervous in my chest.
And I'm feeling nervous in my chest.
This nervous feeling in my chest.
This nervous feeling in my chest.
I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
I don't want you to be blindsided like I was.
This nervous feeling in my chest.
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 Maybe I'm missing something.
Maybe I'm missing something.
Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. How's that nervous feeling in your chest?
It's good. Something deep came up.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Are
one,
you?
yeah, it.
What's that?
Yeah, something that I didn't recognize was like a fear behind this, like came up for me.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah. My mom has had like a million surgeries and like her quality of life isn't the same. And I feel like I was always like someone who said like, I'll never get surgery. And like that wasn't like the way to fix things is kind of like how I built that up in my head. And now I'm going through that process.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. What else is coming up for you around that? Like now you're getting surgery, even though you kind of denied it as a way of dealing with things.
Yeah, I mean, I think a few things come up. Like one, like thinking about her and being like, dang, like I kind of wasn't as like open to the ideas for her in her process. And then for me, like a fear of like my quality of life being less than like what I'm used to because of it.
Okay. And which of those two things, the not being as open with your mom and what worked for her, and then, or the less quality of life for yourself post surgery?
I think the quality of life for myself right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And what are you most worried about it affecting?
Like my ability to like be adventurous and outdoors and sporty. I think I've always been an athlete, and so it's seeing myself as an athlete still, or even just yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay. And are you still feeling that nervousness in your chest when you
Yeah,
think about your friend saying, specifically about your friend saying, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was? Does that have any weight to
I
it still?
I feel like it's less about being blindsided and more about just hoping that it goes the best it can so that I still have like what I think I should after.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. And that when you think about having less quality of life, it affecting your ability to be adventurous and sporty, what's the emotion with that for you?
bored.
Bored. Bored, yeah.
Like, yeah, like I think I just don't want to be bored.
You don't want to be bored, right.
Like, or boring. Yeah, I don't know.
So what is something that you do or that you used to be able to do that you feel like was adventurous and sporty and that definitely wasn't boring, that you think that maybe after the surgery it'll be affected and you
Yeah,
won't be able to do it?
like hiking,
Hiking.
like running, hiking, like just being outdoors.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So we're just gonna start tapping on that and see what comes up, okay? All
Okay.
right. So even though
Even though
just thinking about after the surgery,
just thinking about after the surgery,
maybe my quality of life will be less.
maybe my quality of life will be less.
Maybe I won't have so much ability to be adventurous and sporty
Maybe I won't have so much ability to be adventurous and sporty
and go running or hiking.
and go running or hiking.
And that's so boring.
And that's so boring.
And I accept that I'm feeling that way.
And I accept that I'm feeling that way.
Even though
Even though
just thinking about after the surgery,
just thinking about after the surgery,
and maybe I'll have less quality of life,
and maybe I'll have less quality of life,
less ability to be adventurous and sporty.
less ability to be adventurous and sporty.
And that's so boring.
And that's so boring.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
Even though
Even though
just thinking about after the surgery,
just thinking about after the surgery,
maybe it will affect my ability to be adventurous and sporty,
maybe it'll affect my ability to be adventurous and sporty,
to go running and hiking.
to go running and hiking.
And then I'll be so boring.
And then I'll be so boring.
I'll be so bored.
I'll be so bored.
And I accept myself anyway.
And I accept myself anyway.
I'll be so boring.
I'll be so boring.
I'll be so bored.
I'll be so bored.
Because the surgery might affect my ability to be adventurous.
Because my surgery might affect my ability to be adventurous.
I'll be so boring.
I'll be so boring.
I'll be so bored.
I'll be so bored.
The surgery might affect my quality of life.
The surgery might affect my quality of life.
My ability to be adventurous and sporty.
My ability to be adventurous and sporty.
I'll be so boring.
I'll be so boring.
Okay. Go ahead and take a deep breath. What came up for you during that round?
I kind of like felt relief, like I was laughing a little bit because I'm like, I won't be boring, like chill.
Okay, right. Yeah.
It's
Good.
like,
So
oh, the
you would say
drama.
that the drama. Okay. So you would say, is that a 0 for you now, thinking about like, oh, like I'm gonna be bored or boring.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Okay. Right. Wonderful. And so now when you think about the potential for less quality of life, what
Mhm.
comes up for you? Is that still something that you're focusing on?
I think that it's like in the back of my head is something that could happen, but like I feel like I'm ready to focus on like what I can do, and then we'll just like one step at a time. Maybe like a
Yeah.
little more surrendered.
Okay. And what are some things that you can do? Go ahead and start tapping.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I can still build a business.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
can still make friends. I can still go out and enjoy myself. It doesn't have to be in sport. I can try new hobbies. I can get a little more creative. I can, yeah, there's so much that I can do.
There's so much that you can do. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Good. Mm-hmm. Good. So go ahead and relax. So I can still build a business, can still make friends and try new hobbies, get in touch with your creative side.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And so, when you think about your best friend saying, I don't want you to be blindsided like I was,
Mhm.
just thinking about her saying that recently, what is coming up for you now?
That I I feel prepared. Like I don't like I think I know the goods and the bads, and I feel like now I'm just ready to be in it and just see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So is
And
there any,
oh, I'm sorry. And to know that, like, you know, I've built the tools for a long time that maybe she didn't have, that I've been putting in that work for a long time. So I feel like it might be a little easier on that side for me.
mm-hmm. Right. You mentioned that you're doing some meal prep now, and
Mm-hmm.
your diet and your mindset going into this is maybe not something that she had.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, okay, good. And something that came up also when we were tapping on that was that about your mom, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she's had a lot of surgeries in her life, and her quality of life was has been affected. Hmm.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling towards that idea?
I feel like for me, it's not going to be the same as what her situation is. Um, but I think it did just like raise awareness for like a little sadness that I have for her.
Hmm. Right. Because of her less quality of life, that's what the
Yeah.
sadness is about.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's even like, because she's going to be staying with me, and so it's almost like this, like, well, can she take care of me in this process? Or sorry, I feel like I'm unpacking a lot.
No, you're good. Can she take care of me?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what is the emotion with that?
I feel a little selfish.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And what do you think that she might be helping you out with?
Just like helping me like get to the bathroom, or like getting me set up in bed, maybe washing my hair, because I won't be able to like take a shower. So like very like nurturing mother like things.
Uh-huh. Right. But there's still this element of feeling selfish.
Yeah, almost like I'm not willing to accept that from her
Mm-hmm.
because I've done
So,
it for her. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
So, of all those things that you might need help with, the going to the bathroom, washing your hair, there was something else that you mentioned.
Just like getting me like in bed and stuff.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah, just getting you. So, thinking about all those little tasks, which is the one that you're like, like I'm feeling the most like I'm not willing to accept that.
Yeah. Like I feel like, you know, her helping me move around, like helping
Mm-hmm.
me be mobile.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how intense is this selfish feeling when you think about your mom helping you be mobile after your surgery?
Feels like a 10.
Feels like a
Yeah.
10. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. So, yeah. All right. Even though
Even though
I'm feeling this selfish feeling,
I'm feeling this selfish feeling,
where are you feeling that in your body, Ashley?
like between my shoulder blades,
And I can feel it between my shoulder blades.
and I can feel it between my shoulder blades.
When I think about my mom helping me be mobile after the surgery,
When I think about my mom helping me be mobile after the surgery,
I'm not willing to accept that from her
I'm not willing to accept that from her
because I've done it for her.
because I've done it for her.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way.
Even though I'm feeling this selfish feeling in my shoulder blades,
even though I'm feeling this selfish feeling in my shoulder blades,
when I think about my mom helping me be mobile after my surgery,
when I think about my mom helping me be mobile after my surgery,
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way right now.
And I accept that I'm feeling this way right now.
And even though I'm not willing to accept that from her,
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
when I think about my mom helping me be mobile after my surgery,
When I think about my mom helping me be mobile after my surgery,
and I can feel it between my shoulder blades,
and I can feel it between my shoulder blades,
and right here, right now, I'm okay.
and right here, right now, I'm okay.
Good. Top of the head. This feeling between my shoulder blades,
This feeling between my shoulder blades,
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
Side of the eye, I'm not willing to accept that from her.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
Just thinking about my mom helping me be mobile after my surgery,
Just thinking about my mom helping me be mobile after my surgery,
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
And I can feel this between my shoulder blades.
And I can feel this between my shoulder blades.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
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 Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. That selfish feeling, 0 to 10.
Yeah, it's less selfish. Like I feel like a 5. Like it's there, but I know that it's not selfish. In fact, it's probably more selfish to not let her
Okay.
help me.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's see if we can get it down a bit more.
Okay.
Even though
One
part of me thinks it's selfish.
One part of me thinks it's selfish.
One part of me thinks I'm not willing to accept that from her.
One part of me thinks I'm not willing to accept that from her.
And another part of me thinks that it's selfish not to.
And another part of me thinks that it's selfish not to.
I accept these two parts of me.
I accept these 2 parts of me.
And even though part of me thinks it's selfish to not accept that from her,
part of me thinks it's selfish to not accept that from her.
and part of me thinks it's selfish to accept that from her,
And part of me thinks it's selfish to accept that from her.
I accept myself anyway.
I accept myself anyway.
Good. Top of the head. Part of me thinks it's selfish to accept it from her.
Part of me thinks it's selfish to accept it from her.
Part of me thinks it's not selfish.
Part of me thinks that it's not selfish.
Part of me thinks that it's really selfish.
Part of me thinks that it's really selfish.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
Maybe I am willing to accept that from her.
Maybe I am willing to accept that from her.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
I'm not willing to accept that from her.
I'm not willing to accept her help.
I'm not willing to accept her help.
Maybe I am willing to accept her help.
Maybe I am willing to accept her help.
Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. How are those 2 parts of you, that selfish and then, oh no, it's not selfish?
I feel like it makes more sense now.
Okay. Yeah. What makes sense?
Like it makes sense to me that I would feel both ways, and like I like see where both are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like that it's okay to like want to help my mom, and so to think that I shouldn't ask for help, and then it's also okay to let my mom be my mom and just like give her that as her daughter as well.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So that selfish feeling went from 10 to a 5. Is it like near a 0 now?
Yeah, I feel like I don't feel selfish unless I don't let her, or unless I like, like I feel like I have a better idea of like boundaries with her, like being willing to accept it, but in a way that like works for both of us, like where it's not taking advantage, but I'm also not being standoffish.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah. Wonderful. So I just want you to imagine after your surgery and you're in your bed, you're relaxing, but then you want to go get something from the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you need your mom's help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How willing or how possible does it feel to ask your mom for help or to just let her help you when you
It feels
imagine
good.
that scenario? Feels good.
Yeah. It feels easier.
Good. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So tomorrow is your surgery. It's in the morning. What time is it at?
At 10 a.m.
It's at 10 a.m. Gotcha. So just thinking about that fact that you have that surgery at 10 a.m., are you feeling any anxious feelings that you're feeling before? Nervousness?
No, I feel like it's just time.
It's just, you just want to get it over with.
It's been like 2 months of thinking about it. So
Gotcha. Wonderful. Okay. So even though we didn't work on this directly, I just want to see, we found that there was a core belief here, this I'm not good enough.
mm-hmm.
And you had mentioned that it just feels real. It feels real. And it was about like an 8 or a 9 true.
Mm-hmm.
How's that now? And it just honestly, even if it didn't
Yeah.
change at all, but yeah.
I think tapping into something with my mom, I think that's such a core belief for me, that I'm realizing that it's not necessarily like not being worthy in that situation, but like they tie hand in hand of like, because that's like my maternal figure, like being able to like rely on someone in any capacity. So I feel like it did move down a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. What would you give it now?
I feel like I'm at like about a 6 with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're just going to close up here, but where would you like to put things that are a work in progress? So this could be like in a box on another planet or in a jar or somewhere that you know where it is and you'll go back to it whenever you'd like. So where would you like to put the remainder of this work to be done?
Yeah, I have like a little treasure kind of box that I want to like put in my closet on the top shelf. I feel like that feels good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So side of the hand. Even though
Even though
I know that I still have some work to do
I know that I still have some work to do
around this issue,
around this issue,
I'm choosing to put it in my treasure box on the top shelf of my closet.
I'm choosing to put it in my treasure box on the top shelf of my closet.
And even though I know that I still have some work to do,
And even though I know that I still have some work to do,
there are some things that I still could make progress on.
there are some things that I can still make progress on.
But I'm choosing to put all of that stuff in the treasure box on the top shelf of my closet.
But I'm choosing to put all that stuff in the treasure box on the top shelf of my closet.
And even though there's still some work to be done,
And even though there's still some work to be done,
there's still some things I can unpack and process.
there's still some things I can unpack and process.
I'm choosing to focus on the progress I just made.
I'm choosing to focus on the progress I just made.
Good. Top of the head. I know that there's still some work to do.
I know that there's still some work to do,
But I know where it is. It's in the treasure box.
but I know where it is. It's in the treasure box.
I can go back to it whenever I'm ready.
I can go back to it whenever I'm ready.
I know that I'm not abandoning it.
I know that I'm not abandoning it.
I will go back to it if and when I'm ready.
I will go back to it if and when I'm ready.
But right now,
But right now,
I'm choosing to focus on the progress I just made.
I'm choosing to focus on the progress I just made.
I now have a deadline for my new course.
I now have a deadline for my new course.
I'm feeling a bit more prepared for my surgery tomorrow.
I'm feeling a bit more prepared for my surgery tomorrow.
I've built the tools for a long time.
I have built the tools for a long time.
Yeah. And so I'm choosing to honor myself for the progress I just made.
And I'm choosing to honor myself for the progress I just made.
I'm choosing to be kind to myself.
I'm choosing to be kind to myself.
What else are you choosing, Ashley?
I'm choosing to love myself through it.
I'm choosing to love myself through it.
I'm choosing
Yeah.
to love myself through it. Yeah.
And is there anything else?
I'm choosing to surrender to the powers that be.
I'm choosing to surrender.
I'm choosing to surrender.
Yeah. I'm choosing to surrender.
I'm choosing to surrender.
Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. How you doing?
That feels good.
Good. I'm so glad.
I feel a lot lighter.
That's good. Good. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Ashley. Yeah. And best of luck with your surgery tomorrow. You seem very prepared for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy we
And
got to do this.
yeah, me too. Absolutely. And you know, if of course nervousness and anxiousness is all part of the process, especially with something new such as what you're going to go through. But if you can just be tapping on your way to the in the car if someone's driving you, and you don't even need to use words. It doesn't
Okay.
need to be something that you have to be like, "Oh, I really don't know what to say." You just like if you're feeling it in your body, it exists. And so by simply acknowledging it through somatically through your fingertips, that's all you need. Like
Okay.
and as they're taking you into the room or whatever, you can tap on even on your fingertips or
Okay.
just like on your chest, just whatever. It'll help you regulate your nervous system a little bit when you can.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Ashley, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.